On this episode of the Third and Thirsty podcast, the Raiders lose to a familiar friend in the Commanders, and the Broncos blow it against the Chargers, who are 3-0. Let's get this over with. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Chargers don't charge her anymore. This was
Well, it's been 3 games.
Hey, but this is a game.
Hold on, it's been 3 games.
Would have definitely gave a game against.
Am I pissed off? Yes, absolutely. Do I feel like the Broncos are intentionally losing these games solely to piss me off? Yes. I'm not into conspiracy theories. Welcome into the Third and Thirsty podcast. Your one pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City referee, and Taylor Swift free AFC West banter. I'm Alex Bell, reluctantly a Bronco fan. To my left, I have Omar Rubio. He's a Chargers fan. To my right, I have Edgar Larios. He is also a fan of the Raiders. Let's get this hour over with. Omar, how are you feeling?
I mean, I'm real excited about this pod this week. I don't know about you guys. Feels good to be at the top of the hill with everybody clawing at your ankles trying to get up there. Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you, the rest of the division, because they're all in the same spot, same lowly spot, just trying to fight each other to get to second place.
Not great, Bob. Not great.
Yeah, honestly, I thought it was like Raiders were going to be in fourth by now, but
so you're feeling pretty good.
They're still, hey,
They're tied for fourth at this point.
Hey, we're tied for second, all right.
Yeah, that's true. Whichever way you look at it.
But no, like for me, honestly, I honestly thought that the Raiders would be like 1-2, while the rest of you guys would have been like 2-1, or between you two probably would have been like 2-1 and 1-2.
Well, the Broncos could very easily be 3-0. They don't know how to finish games, so they're 1-2. So we'll recap the 2 games. We're not going to get much into the Chiefs again. We're Kansas City referee and Taylor Swift free. But we'll get
talk shit.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit of shit. Not much to talk about this week since they beat up on a bad team. But let's talk about the Chargers and Broncos game. Let's get that over with. Omar, thoughts?
Man, that was a hell of a game. Defense, they had it stamped all over this game. Some timely offense, but the defense on both sides really showed out. I was surprised by the Broncos linebackers play. I thought that was going to be the area we were going to attack, but Justin Cernot had a hell of a game. I think he heard everybody talking. He probably heard me talking because he listens to the Third and Thirsty podcast.
Shout out Justin Cernot if you're listening.
But yeah, hey man, he stepped it up. He made a lot of big plays. Unfortunately, not enough because they still ended up losing. But that was really good linebacker play. It really surprised me. Now that I gave the only part of your team that I was going to give flowers to this week, I'll get to my team, the Chargers, who again are 3-0. The best part for me, I already mentioned the defense, but like Justin Herbert's mobility within the pocket. Yes, he took some sacks. Yes, he got hit a lot, but without that mobility, it would have been a lot more sacks and a lot more hits. Because that defensive line was after him the whole game.
Yeah, they finally stepped it up from last week. They definitely did their part. Nick Bonito even beat Alt on one of those sacks.
Yep.
So Nick Bonito looks really good. But go ahead and keep going. Get it out of your system.
Yeah, I mean, the passes didn't come so easy. He did drop back like 47 times, I want to say, and he only completed maybe 29 of them, something around there. But they didn't come easy. The receivers had to fight for yardage, had to fight to get open, but they were able to do it, and Herbert was able to fit in those tight windows. And it wasn't just one receiver. It took a whole offensive firepower to get this game going, to get this win, because like I said, definitely wasn't easy. It was probably one of the hardest games that they'll have to play this year, and then they'll have to do it again once they face them the second time. But yeah, this is what I was talking about when I said it earlier, either in the offseason or earlier this maybe 2 weeks ago. This is why you bring Harbaugh in. The Chargers don't charge her anymore. This was
Well, it's been 3 games.
Hey, but this is a game.
Hold on, it's been
Chargers
3 games.
would have definitely gave up. The game against the Chiefs was a game that they definitely would have gave up. Last week was a game that definitely would have still won, but would have let the Raiders back into the game and made it a game. They put them away.
No.
The Chargers came back this week.
No,
You guys
I'm sorry,
don't
but
get-
no.
We're not
that
getting there
culture has already changed.
No, you guys have always started strong, but by the end of the season, you guys have. I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know if you guys can blame it on the coaches, like you guys did with what's that fool's name? Staley. But at the end of the day, you guys always start out strong, but it's always where it comes out to towards the end. That's where everybody's gonna know where like the Chargers are at, because it happened in 2020, 2021. I went to those games where you guys beat us like the first week. When you guys beat the Raiders the first week and you guys spanked them, like fucking, I was there. But then when we play you guys the second week, the Raiders end up winning, the Charger basically. So
Yeah, that was
I'm gonna
years
be,
ago.
so we're gonna wait on that
Yeah,
before.
That was years
But
ago.
you can feel this. I know you're 3-0. You're feeling up, and you're up there. So I understand it, but no, not yet.
Yeah, no, definitely not taking anything away from Harbaugh because he is a great coach.
Yes, definitely that too.
But my optimistic Bronco fan thought after the game was, man, the only good thing about this loss is it's going to be so hilarious to see how the Chargers are going to blow this after being up on the division with 3 divisional wins, being up 3-0 in first place, a 2-game lead on everybody. How are they going to find a way to fall out of first place? How are they going to find a way to lose their first playoff game?
And like, look,
I hope that
it can. You
I
guys
hope that
can
makes up for this.
You guys can literally win and prove us wrong.
I
But
doubt it.
honestly,
It's gonna happen
until it
think so,
happens,
man.
basically, that's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
until they prove me wrong.
Until it happens,
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see.
basically. I mean, that's on everything.
Exactly. We're not waiting and seeing. We are here.
You know-
The storm is here.
You know, deep down, even all 4 of you Charger fans are like, I hope it doesn't happen this year. It would just be so disappointing if it happened this year after this start.
I felt it. That's what I said. I felt it coming along. And at the end of the first half there, they gave up the ball.
You felt
And
it.
they gave up the ball at the end of the second half, let them come down and
First
score a
half.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the first half. But they let them come back and score a touchdown. Instead of putting the game away or being up 10 going into the half, you're up 3. You could feel the momentum switching at that point.
Yeah.
The Broncos come out, defensively shut them down in the third quarter, and then they put on a little steam on their offense. So I felt it. I felt it going into the fourth quarter, and then it seemed like just Herbert flipped the switch. Like in the end of the fourth quarter, that was a hell of a fourth quarter. Some really good throws, really good decision making. Didn't put the ball in harm's way. Didn't try to force things. Just trusted himself. I think that's what honestly got me thinking. Like, man, he's not just out there like just going by the book. You're seeing him making plays, like unscripted plays now. Before, it's just like, I'm just going to read my offense, go through my progressions, and if anything, at the end of the day, just dump it down. No, he's going through his progressions. He's seeing nothing's open. He's seeing a hole, and he knows he can beat these linebackers, these D linemen. So he's taking off, and and even if he's not taking off, he's just gaining time, giving himself time for receivers to get open.
Yeah, that throw he made that was Keenan Allen to tie the
Yeah.
game, right? Yeah,
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
pretty special. That's prime Herbert in the regular season throw. Like to see him do that in the playoffs. I don't have faith that he will, but
I was gonna say we saw a lot of that last year, and I heard of you being very positive all throughout last season
He didn't run at all last year.
until the
no,
playoffs.
the big play.
The big plays, yeah. So in the end, like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I can't. I don't see that until like I'm proven wrong, basically.
Yeah,
Through 3 weeks, you're proven wrong.
yeah. It's not like I said that the Chargers would be 0-3 or anything.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, just hats off again to Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator.
Shout out for
he's
listening.
gonna be gone at the end of the season. He's gonna be going to another team next year if he keeps up this type of defense, this showing.
Oh, yeah. He's going to Miami.
Yeah, maybe. Miami's definitely going to need a head coach.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to need one a lot sooner than maybe next year.
Yeah, they'll have
So-
an
Either them or the Giants. I mean, do you think Dayball? I mean, that's different talk, but there's a lot of coaches in the hot seat.
Yeah.
He'll definitely have his pick of teams, I
Yeah.
think.
He's
Yeah.
probably going to be this year's
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Ben
yeah.
I hope he's last year's Ben Johnson and doesn't like any situations that come about, sticks around for
Sticks
another
around for
year,
a
and
year.
then really has his pick of teams that he really wants.
Maybe. Well, the way the Broncos defense is playing, I'm not so worried about Vance Joseph leaving. They played okay yesterday. It wasn't really on them losing. So let's get into the Broncos side of it. Another disappointing loss. Just exhausted from how bad they played the last 2 weeks when it comes to the clutch time. Penalties, 10 for 90 yards, really killed them. And just not getting enough first downs. They had 9 first downs. That's just not going to win games, even when you win the turnover battle 2-0. So really bad performance. If you want to be optimistic, you could say they're close, but close doesn't count it in the NFL. Instead of being 3-0, you're 1-2. And it's because it's a game of inches, obviously. And God damn it, I'm so fucking pissed about this loss. Shit.
I'm so happy.
It's just so disappointing that they can't close out games, and I guess you have to chalk it up to coaching. Especially when you're talking about penalties and fourth quarter collapses. Sean Payton's got to do better. There's no denying that. As great of a coach he is, and as well as he's done is at turning over the culture there in Denver in the 2.5 years he's been here. It's not going to cut it. Losing all these one-score games. There are now 2-8 in one-score games dating back to last year. And you just can't do that in the NFL because every game is close. One thing I will say to Bronco Country, yes, the last 2 games have been rough. Yes, they should be 3-0, not 1-2. Let's not call for the firing of Sean Payton and benching Bo Nix, which I saw a lot of on Twitter. No. Just a couple of comments. They were lucky to be in it at all. Heartbreaking or justified. This sucks. Fire Sean Payton. If Bo Nix is in a Broncos uniform next week, I'll be pissed. You guys, just calm down. It's 2 games. If this happened in the middle of the season when the Broncos were doing well, you would chalk it up and say, hey, it's only 2 games. I know it's early in the season, so you start to get worried. I'm definitely concerned about how the Broncos are playing so far. But to call it after week 3 and say that Sean Payton needs to get fired and you need to give up on Bo Nix is crazy. Let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. Now, am I pissed off? Yes, absolutely. Do I feel like the Broncos are intentionally losing these games solely to piss me off? Yes. I'm not into conspiracy theories. But Sean Payton, Bo Nix, cut it out. You're making me look like a fucking idiot.
Hey, they could go with their backup, who made me look like an idiot in the offseason, in the preseason. Stidham, man.
You don't go to Stiddy. You go to Stiddy, then you're giving up on Bo Nix, and that's insane to do. Whatever, 18, 19 games into his career when he's only had a couple of really rough games, and they've been recent. Those overthrows, obviously, you want to make it see him. He hits one of those, the game's over. He hits, was it the flea flicker? On that, was it third or fourth down? He hits Mims in the end zone after that turnover. He hits Sutton up the left sideline on that fourth down, whatever it was. Third down. The game changes completely. And, those are really close. So if he tightens that up, just hits one of them, he had a bad day. He definitely had a bad day. There's no denying that. But let's not give up because that's insane. The Broncos' schedule coming up looks a lot softer than it did going into the season. Starting with next week, the Bengals without Joe Burrow, they don't look very good. Then you got the Eagles, which is still going to be a tough game. Eagles don't look unbeatable, though. Then you have the Jets, the Giants, the Cowboys' defense can't stop anybody, and then the Texans are 0-3. So the Broncos could definitely get back on track by rattling off some wins here. Not saying they're going to go undefeated over these next whatever 6 games, but
try to
even if
get
you go
back-
4-2,
try to get back to
Right.
500.
you go 4-2, you know that's going to be what 5-3. Yeah, 5-3. You're in good shape to still be in the wild card mix at the end of the season. So definitely not time to punt on the season. Which again, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that we need to do. You're insane. It's week 3. Calm the fuck down. I know it's disappointing because we had high hopes for the first time in a decade, and it hasn't gone the way that we wanted it to. But again, very close to being 3-0. Need to tighten things up, and they have a chance to do that over these next 6 games. So calm down,
I mean,
and we'll see.
I do see, not that they need to bench him, Bo Nix,
God. Okay, go ahead.
but I do see that I think we were less wrong than you thought we were about the sophomore slump.
I'm still
Season?
not worried. It's 3 games. He had a good game last week.
3 games in is all you have to judge it off of. And
That's
it's
nothing.
a little bit of a sophomore slump. He can get back to right on track and have the season that you thought. But
I'm not saying
right
he's going to
now-
be MVP, but yes, I thought he was going to have a better season
Yeah.
than what he's showing so far. But again, it's 3 games.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Last week he played really well, minus the fourth quarter. And even that pick last week was not great, but it wasn't an awful pick. The timing was awful, but the throw wasn't. So again, no, I'm not worried about Bo Nix's sophomore slump. I'm still have a lot of confidence in him. And the team does, which is way more important than Alex from the Third and Thirsty podcast having
I don't
faith
know.
in Bo
I don't
Nix.
know.
So
We're growing in popularity here, so
we're taking over the interwebs. But no, I mean, all the comments after the game, Dobbins, Peyton, anybody that had a microphone in front of them, they had all the faith in Bo Nix. And I think that's a tribute to like how Bo is such a hard worker and a leader. I think if they didn't have faith in him, it would have slipped. They wouldn't have said, well, Bo sucked today. Obviously they wouldn't go that far, but they had a lot of really good things to say about Bo. And I think it's just because they have faith that he's going to be able to tighten things up, and that gives me a little bit more confidence.
Do you think that they're holding him back a little bit? He didn't have too many dropbacks. He only threw the ball, like 23 times, 24 times?
I want to see Sean Payton open up the playbook a little bit more and stop every series is behind the line of scrimmage. Now it's 3rd and 12. You know, all of those third downs I haven't mentioned, but the majority of them are 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 18. It's really going to be hard to play well at quarterback if you're constantly facing 3rd and 12. So, yeah, I mean, Sean Payton, it goes back to him. As much as I love him, the play calling's got to get better. It's been atrocious this year. I'm so sick of these little bullshit bubble screens that get caught behind the line of scrimmage. It's obviously not working. Let's stop doing that. Let's try to open up the playbook. Let Bo do his thing. If you have so much confidence in Bo, then show it. Yeah, I'm getting pissed off now.
Awesome.
On to next week for the Broncos. Before we get to the Raiders game, which Edgar's going to break down here in a little bit, shout out to everybody that's listening on Apple, Spotify, anyone that's watching on YouTube. Really appreciate that. If you are watching, do us a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel. We've gained about 30 subscribers over the last month or two.
Nice. Thank you for subscribing.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Which, yeah, for most channels that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cemented, but have been here for a long time. 30 subscribers probably isn't much, but for us, we appreciate every single one of you. And leave a comment. You know, let us know what you guys thought about the games last week. If you're a Bronco fan, vent and cry on my shoulder. And but don't say that the season's over. And then Charger fans, just shut the hell up. We've heard enough.
Keep it going. Keep all the gloating
You're
going.
getting 10.
And then Raider fans, I don't know, whatever. Call Edgar drunk again. But yeah, thank you for liking, subscribing, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, Third and Thirsty Podcast.
Let us know who your favorite team is. If you're one of our, constituents here. If not, I mean, let us know who you'd like and how you found us.
Yeah, we kind of random if you're like a Falcons fan or something.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are, I mean, Michael Penix is sick, I guess.
Have a tough game, but at least you guys got at least you guys have a quarterback.
Edgar and the Raiders might come calling for their backup quarterback
for
there for Kirk Cousins.
I don't think it's got that bad yet.
It's too expensive.
All right, Edgar, tell us about losing to the Jadenless Commanders.
So, yeah, so we got our ass handed to us in our second week in a row. Yeah, it was. If it wasn't clear last week, it's definitely clear now that our offensive line needs a lot of work. Which sucks because we definitely have players that, we have key players that, can make that offensive line, I wouldn't say top, but at least a lot better than it's playing right now. But I don't know if it's the offensive line coach. I don't know if it's a head coach, but having Jordan Meredith at center, it's just not working. He's too soft. I'm sure he knows how to read defenses, but when it comes down to a snap, he can't get the guy out of the way.
Sounds like they're kind of sticking with him, huh?
They want to have him there because they think that they can build around him, but they're having Alex Kappa as right guard, which I also understand because that's somebody else who knows defenses, knows how to read defenses, and how can help the center. But he's struggling. Like he's not like how he was that Super Bowl year. He lost a lot of strength. I have no idea, but he's getting bullied. Like he's getting pushed into Gino's lap. Whenever whenever Gino has to step back, like he's already getting like pressured, so he has to step forward, and he's just having to run around the pocket a lot. And that was something that I saw a lot against the Chargers, but it, like, I don't know, if it was really weird because there was times where Gino had plenty of time to throw the ball, but there was a lot of times where he was getting rushed. So it was very difficult. It was very difficult to tell with the Chargers, but with the fucking Commanders, dude, like when they gave us time, like Gino was throwing the ball like everywhere. He was able to score 3 times with Trey Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker looked pretty good.
Yeah, he balled out. He did really good. But like I said, like when the offensive line was blocking the way it was supposed to, I don't know if the Commanders just weren't rushing like they usually, like they weren't sending a full blitz, or I have no idea. But once they weren't blitzing, or once we were able to catch the blitz, Gino was just able to throw the ball anywhere. So yeah, like at this point, and I was gonna say that even though it's week 3, Brendan Carroll, he's in the hot seat.
Damn.
If I was Pete Carroll, either he fixes it or because we have 4 more weeks until our bye week. We play the Bears, the Colts, the Chiefs, and then we have a bye week. So I wouldn't want to wait that long to make sure he fixes it. But it needs, like, if he really wants to change this around, like, we need to do something with this offensive line, because if we don't, we're not gonna win any games.
Things could get pretty ugly for the Raiders here pretty quick.
Yeah,
if
so
the Bears beat them this week, the Colts and the Chiefs are not going to beat.
I mean, I was honestly before this last weekend, I was very confident that going up against the Bears, but hey, they lit up the Cowboys. I know Cowboys defense isn't doing so great.
Bro, I think if you put an offense together of me, you, and Omar, and you just multiplied us by whatever 3.5, I think we would score 58 points on the Cowboys.
Yeah, it seems like the Cowboys might be missing, I don't know, maybe pass rush.
No, they're missing a whole lot more than just pass
rush.
They need a cover too, like. But I mean, I get it.
Cowboys suck.
I get it. Their corners are hurt, but still, man, like
they suck.
They need. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, the Bears always had a good defense, and their offense they have weapons. I don't know if it's just Caleb Williams having trouble learning it, but I mean, he looked really good against the Cowboys. So I don't know if it's just a Cowboys defense that really suck, or they're really that good. And I know we're still gonna have like trouble against them, but I don't know how much, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. We'll get into that on the next episode, and get into whether or not we think the Raiders are gonna beat the Bengals.
The
Jesus.
Bears.
The
Bears.
The other
But-
BEs.
Anyways, I was gonna keep talking about the freaking game. But it wasn't just our offensive line that fucking that freaking struggled. That struggled this last weekend. This is honestly is very surprising because it doesn't really happen often. Our special teams played horrible. We gave up almost close to 200 yards on special teams.
It's not very good.
We gave up, I think, like Deebo Samuel's the very first kick, returned it for 69 yards, put him in
Nice.
very good field position, and they were able to run it in for a touchdown. After that, a couple punts, they were getting them down deep, and I was just like, one of these they're just gonna run it all the way, and sure enough, they did. So our special teams really did it. Like I guess they stayed in Vegas, or they're probably still in fucking LA. Like they're still stunned from the loss or something. I don't know. Our defense, it played as good as it could, but same. A lot of missed tackles, a lot of bad angles, a lot of like missed coverages. It honestly felt like Pete Carroll didn't really have the Raiders ready this week. They were probably still they're probably still phased from the loss against the Chargers, or maybe because it was a short week and the Commanders had a longer week. But it doesn't matter. Like right now, Raiders have a lot of things to work on, and if they don't fix them soon, this is gonna be a long season.
Yeah, the Raiders definitely got off to a slow start. Found themselves in a hole pretty damn quick. Seemed like that game was over relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good about that. Being a Bronco fan, I feel like my worries about the Raiders being a better team this year are slowly starting to fade away. Sorry, Edgar.
I mean, I'll tell you this much: the way the Broncos were playing, I'm not as worried as I thought I was in the beginning in the offseason.
Yeah, same. I'm not as high on the Broncos as I was.
Like, I'm sure you guys are still gonna win, but I am not as worried as I was. I was like, man, we're not even gonna fucking touch the red zone.
Well, Broncos' red zone defense is pretty solid. It's just the fact that they can't move the ball for shit on offense. So I think that's it. I mean, the Chargers defense, going back to that game, obviously a really good defense. So it's a tough task. Broncos need to prove it next week, which we'll get into the next podcast here.
Mariota had his revenge game.
Yeah, he had a
decent game. Don't get me wrong. Like he got the win.
15 of 21 is pretty solid.
Yeah.
200 yards, touchdown.
Yeah, and a touchdown. Yeah, and a rushing touchdown. No,
You guys could have been just as mediocre with him than with Gino. Paid him less too.
it was a whole different like coaching era, and I'm sure Chip Kelly would have took him, but there's no way he was gonna. There's no way Dan Quinn would have let him walk.
That's his
Like
boy.
Marcus Mariota's been in the league forever.
He has.
Yeah,
That's his boy. Chip Kelly's boy from Oregon.
he looked like he was back in Oregon when he was playing against us, dude. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, 31.
But honestly, man, like Thomas Booker, shout out to him. We got him from the Eagles as a trade.
Right.
Dude, it was as much as Jaquan Bennett was one of my favorite players. Thomas Booker is coming through for us for that, being a defensive tackle. He's getting a lot of pressure against the Commanders. He's the one that punched out the ball at Mariota. So like the fact that he was still running behind him and was able to like punch the ball at him, like he's not quitting. Like he does. Like there's a lot of players that that quit on the plays. So watching somebody that's like big as hell and running after fucking Mariota, who's fucking quick. Like, I'm stoked that this guy is fucking.
You talk about Raiders players quitting on plays, just like Ashton Genty quitting on blocking.
No,
that
one
was really bad. All those videos about it.
Or Jamar Chase, like, not blocking for his tight end on that one play. That fool got rocked. That fool just goes, whoop.
Okay. Well, we guys want to move on to IPAs and seltzers?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. We're going to hand out some IPAs, which again, Omar hit us with an IPA. What is that?
Impact Player Award.
Also, IPAs are the best beers in the world. Seltzers, obviously, are something that you're going to want to avoid because they suck.
Unless you really like bubbles.
Fruity bubbles.
Or unless you don't like beer.
Yeah, that's true. That too. Or if you're watching a figure, I guess, which I don't think any of the
There's
three of us
still light beers.
I watch mine grow.
Let's get into it. Omar, start us off. Hit us with an IPA that you're giving out this week.
Man, I wanted to give it to him last week, but talked about him again. I think I've talked about him every week. Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator. IPA goes to him. He's done a hell of a job. Got to get him in this year because I don't know if he'll be around much longer. So IPA, Jesse Minter.
Okay,
Good
yeah,
choice.
solid choice. I probably would have went Herbert, way he played. But IPAs for the Broncos this week. Again, tough to give out. I don't know. Cortland Sutton had a good game. I called it. Said he'd be really involved. He was the only player on offense that was involved. He counted for like the majority of all the Broncos yards. Broncos did not spread the ball out at all this week. Court was pretty much the only dude. So only guy that showed up to play this week, Cortland Sutton. IPA to you. Cheers.
Almost seems like by default.
Cheers.
Yeah, seriously, it is by default. All right, hey, Gary.
For my IPA of the week, unfortunately we didn't get the win, but this man fucking still balled out. Was able to move our offense forward, and it's Trey Tucker having 4 catches for 140 something yards and 3 touchdowns.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah,
What was his average? Like 40 yards a catch?
every catch was over 20 yards. So
Man.
it was
That's crazy.
Yeah, it seemed like every time I looked up at the TV, he was catching like a long throw. So yeah, he had a pretty solid game, definitely. All right, let's go to the flip side of it. Seltzers,
Seltzer.
Omar.
This one was a little hard for me because, like I said, the Broncos still played good. But if I had to come down to it, he still had a good game, but it seemed like they were targeting him a little bit. PS2. He didn't have a bad game. I'm going to make that clear right away. But it seemed like they were going after him, kind of like, all right, show us that you're still that guy. And he still had a good game, but he had a couple catches, big catches against him. Quentin Johnston, namely, 2 big catches for bigger gains. That's what stuck out to me. Like I said, there wasn't a lot to harp on with your guys' defense. Your offense wasn't great, but it wasn't.
Offense sucked.
Yeah, but it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of bad plays. They just seemed like they were stuck in the mud. But they weren't like turning the ball over. It was just
Right,
punting.
right.
So that's why it was hard. But from not being targeted at all and usually giving up no catches or very little catches to kind of letting up a little bit. Maybe it's the injury, maybe not. But that's who I went with.
Yeah,
PS2.
we're gonna have to go back and watch and see if those were zone or man coverage on PS2. I really don't remember. I didn't rewatch the game because I'm fucking sick of it, and I just didn't want to watch that again. So I don't know. I don't remember thinking PS2 was having a rough game.
No, he didn't have a bad game, like I said, but he had a couple bad plays where he was the nearest defender, and it just
give him
kind
a
of,
seltzer. Give him like a light beer. Give him a Bud Light or something.
like I said, you guys still had a good
Seltzers
game.
for someone
We
who
were there.
really had a rough game. And
We were there. We
Give
were
him a
right there.
give him a Coors.
Yeah, fine.
A Coors Banquet.
Yeah, my seltzer. I hate to do it, but it's to Bo. Broncos win the game if he makes a couple of those throws. He needs to make those going forward. Just unacceptable. He needs to be hitting those wide open, down the field throws. You don't get those chances very often against the Chargers. When you do get them, you need to take advantage of them, and he was 0 for 3. So, seltzer to Bo. Bo, I'm sorry. Stop making me look like a fucking idiot. Edgar?
For my seltzer, it's gonna go to one man that can literally either fix this or he can literally leave, and that's Brendan Carroll. This man, like, I don't know what he had. JPJ at center the entire offseason, and right before the preseason, he's like, you know what? Let's put you at guard and let's put this guy that's been in guard the entire offseason at center. and because they played good against second string preseason against the Niners, they're like, "Oh, this is the greatest idea ever." It's week 3. Our offense, our run game and our passing game is like getting worse. Let's go back to what we had before, with JPJ at center, Jordan Meredith at guard, and Dylan Parham at right guard, and let's just let's have the O line that we finished last year. That was, towards the last games we were ranked pretty good. But if he's too proud to change it, Pete Carroll needs to fire him. He's like, I'm sorry, but this dude literally
It's a tough conversation to have.
This dude literally has to like.
I wonder if he has to ask his wife first.
Nah, but and also the worst part is that he's not just our like the offensive line coach. He's our run coordinator. So clearly the run game's not doing well. So he's clearly not doing his job well. So it's the NFL, it's business. Sorry, Pete. You gotta fucking man up and tell your son that's fucking probably 30, 40 years old that you get a new job. He was doing so well in university.
Car wash is hiring, bro.
He was doing so well in the universities. Let him go back. He still needs more.
He's gonna tell his wife to ground him so he can't make it to practice or the games.
He's not gonna let his son play for us no more, I guess.
Man, that's tough. That is tough. But that's the way things go, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Before we get out of here, we'll read some comments from the last YouTube from last week. So again, shout out to anybody that's watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. We always respond. And then again, Instagram's Third and Thirsty Podcast. So let's see here. Got Elias Martinez, 1162. Finally, someone coming after one of the three of us that isn't me. Who thought it was a good idea having a drunk Raider dude on the show? Hearing him talk about Gino was exhausting. Also spelled Gino wrong. It's Geno, not Gino. Gino.
First of all, fuck you. What is his name? Elias,
No,
whatever.
Fuck you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving a comment. You. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Second of all, no, I wasn't drunk. It's literally the middle of the week. We still need to fucking work tomorrow, so I wish I was drunk. It was a tough Tuesday, all right?
That's just Raider fan talk. It's just Raider fan talk.
But all bullshit aside, and at this point, I think you were drunk since you couldn't even spell Gino correct.
That's true. That's a tough one.
But BS aside, thank you for commenting.
Yes.
Keep commenting. I don't care. Keep talking your shit. I really don't care.
No, come back every week, man. Yeah, really appreciate
it. Like exactly. Like every week, just keep coming back, commenting. Like say what you want to say. That's basically what this podcast is all about.
True, talk shit about
just talking shit about each other's teams. No, not about me. I mean, these fuckers still talk shit about me, but
always.
Francisco Lopez, Raiders should have drafted offensive line instead of Genti. I think we've been saying that all year, and we agree.
We all said that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Genti has looked terrible on his own, outside of not blocking.
I will say that he is what we got him for. Like, if his fucking offensive line can block for him, he's very elusive. He's already like broken 8 tackles. He's fucking run over so many he's run over so many safeties at this point. So if we can get a better offensive lineman in next year's draft,
that was kind of the point. Like if you draft an offensive lineman,
yeah, but we still gotta I feel like what they were saying yeah, he's a good running back, but I feel like he's one of a kind of running back. He's kind of like more of like Marshawn Lynch and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a heavy thing to say after 3 games where he really hasn't had a great season so far.
It's true, but coming out of college, he was like Marshawn Lynch, and even if with the 3 games, like I said, if he was in any other team, he would literally be balling right now.
I don't know.
That could be the case, but
honestly, you can't throw out hypotheticals like that because you honestly don't know.
I honestly can't. I do know, dude. I've seen, dude. literally look at a Raider game and look at when this fool actually runs for more than 10 yards. Against the Commanders, he had a couple of those. He had at least seven runs where he was literally running for more than 10 yards, and he was breaking tackles, being elusive, running people over. Like, it's basically what we wanted, and like what he was showing in college. But the problem, like I said, the problem is that our offensive line he's getting tackled 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You know, he's getting like 54 like snaps that he took from week 1. In 54 snaps and 54% of his snaps, he's already been hit in the back of the scrimmage. Like,
yeah, no, I think you're kind of proving his point.
yeah,
The offensive line is trash, so they should have upgraded there and then worried about running back after.
exactly.
Because you could get running backs.
No,
in the second,
no,
third, fourth round.
No, I know exactly my point. But the thing is like,
Wait,
I
no,
feel
it's
like
exactly Francisco
guy's-
Lopez
Yeah.
at this point.
I'm not saying look, I'm not saying he's wrong.
Oh, true.
That's what I'm like. First off, I'm not saying he's wrong, but what I am saying is that I understand why the Raiders took him and didn't take the offensive line. He's a good running back that you take him regardless of the offensive line, and you worry about the offensive line down the road, basically.
That's why the Raiders are the Raiders, and that's why they're going to be in 4th place, and that's why they were drafting 6th overall.
Pretty sure that's the same exact thinking that the Giants had with Saquon,
That didn't work out
and
for
it
them.
didn't work out.
I mean,
True.
true, but at the same time, true, but at the same time, the Giants didn't want to re-sign him. So what makes you think that we won't re-sign him? Even though Spytek has already he's shown that all his rookies he's re-signed with when he was with the Bucks. So yeah, Saquon was able to leave, but because the Giants were like, we're not going to re-sign you. The Giants chose not to re-sign him. It had
They
nothing
gave
to
him an
do.
offer. They offered him.
know.
They offered him
No,
a
they didn't.
contract.
There's
They
little.
did. They offered him a contract.
I'm sure they offered him something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
Why would you want to go back there? Why would Ashton Genty want to go back to a team
Look
where the
at-
offensive line sucks?
Because they're going to upgrade their offensive line.
You hope. You don't know
It's not that I hope. I know how Spytek is. Look how he if you literally look how when he used to work with the Eagles, he helped build that offensive line. He did the same thing with the Bucks. Now the Bucks and the Eagles both literally have a really good offensive line.
Yeah, but then okay, you're going to focus on what? Re-signing him.
We already
getting
think about
offensive-
it. We already have Geno Smith. We already have Ashton Genty. We have 2 tight ends, and we have a young receiving core. All we're missing is literally offensive line.
Because
pretty
there's a
good
lot more
piece.
than there's missing than the offensive line.
Well, of course, we're missing a lot more, but
Jacoby
literally,
Myers
if you
gonna
really
be
think
gone
about
next
it,
year. He was almost gone this year. Shoot.
who?
Jacoby Myers, he's going to be gone next year. He was almost gone
and
this
that's
year.
yeah,
That's
but
another player you have to replace next year.
We
You're
got-
probably going to go after him
even
in the first round.
if he walks away, we still got Alex Besh. We got Besh.
He ain't doing shit.
Oh, he's a rookie. He still needs to get experience.
And
but that's the reason why
who
they
knows
got
if
him.
he's
He
gonna
plays the
get
same. He
better.
plays the same way as Jacoby Myers does. The point is, I'm saying I see what they're trying to do. They often what Spytek and they're trying to build. And like I said, do I think that they should have gone offensive line? If you go back to our podcast when we're doing the draft, our all mock draft, you'll see that I went with the offensive lineman that the Jets took. I forgot his last name. Not Genty, but I knew the Raiders were going to go for Genty. But like I said, I know why they went for Genty.
To try to sell tickets.
Well, if we went into this podcast, you told me that I wasn't involved in the biggest fight, I wouldn't believe you. Shout out to you guys for that.
That was
Uh,
a fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was more than he than I got. I guess I just gave up on the Broncos. I don't know.
Yeah, you just kind of laid down and died.
Shout out to SoCal Slime,
fake,
who also
fake dead.
commented, let us know Greenlaw was out. Yes, he's out for the next 4 weeks. That's not working out very well. Anything else you guys want to add for this week?
Go Bolts.
No, yeah, me neither. I'm glad this is over with.
This is fun.
Let's get on to the next podcast where we're going to talk about next week and break down those games. But until then, 138 days until, I don't know, Bo Nix probably doesn't win his first Super Bowl. I'm done. Cheers.
That's so it's really real fast.
Justin Herbert's going to win the Super Bowl.